It is. We haven't even started the show, and it's Robin's run. Oh, I said, where's my pen? And Robin doesn't have one, so she had to get up and run away. Hello there, welcome. We are live on a Wednesday, as we always do. It's the Tony Bruno Podcast live here at CSZ Philadelphia, the home of comedy sports, where every Saturday night they have two great shows here, great improv. It's not a sports show. It's a show that's sports.
So much more.
Yeah, it's improv, which people love, and it's teams that get together and they do all kind. We came out. Joe Corrado's here back. How are you, man? Everything good, Jack?
Man. Yeah, appreciate
Joe's here, of course.
That's
Luigi's up there in the God Mike booth area. Right. You're right up there tonight, Luigi. What are you knocking over up there?
Nothing.
Natalie's up there. Natalie Eganoff is back. Robin's back. She had to go get a pen. I've never seen anything like this. All right? We're setting up here for 4 hours.
Right. We were ready. We were ready, Tony.
How many hours have we been here?
I gave my pen away.
How many hours did you say? I got to find it now. I always have to find this stupid thing. We're already off to a bad start. But anyway, we've been here for like 4 hours, setting up, hooking up wires, making sure everything's all right. And I said, okay, where's my pen? Nobody moves. And it was here.
It's little things, you know.
Then Robin realizes she doesn't have her pen, so she has to run all the way across the other side of the studio.
Luigi was
to
supposed
go
to take care of the pens. I don't know what happened.
What's the matter with him? I always make sure I have my pen. I can't work without it. I can't talk without a pen. I can't because I'm Italian, so I have to have something in your hand.
Something. Yeah.
We got a fun show. Fun show tonight. Our good buddies here, Joe. He will be calling in somehow onto the Tony Bruno phone line.
It's a miracle how this happens. He can be in two places at once.
I know.
Our buddy Jim's here from Cheltenham.
Yeah,
Andrea.
You know what? He should be the one recording all this. We should not have to worry about it.
I think he's rolling on this back home somewhere.
That's right.
Listening live on Now we're on Mixler.com, right? Luigi, are we on the Mixler?
Yeah, we're on.
All right.
Chat room's filling up, man.
Chat room's filling up. Mixler's on.
Love when the chat room fills up.
Well, me too.
Yeah. Like the AIM days again.
Yeah, AOL.
The
AOL
sex location.
Messenger.
Exactly.
Oh, I remember those chat
I never
rooms.
went on that
Good old
stuff.
days.
I never went on that stuff.
Yeah, it was, that was.
Is it better than Tinder?
I'm not on there.
Oh, okay. I'm just checking. Luigi's up there. Natalie's up there. What are you doing up there now? You all right? She's all right. Thumbs up. She doesn't need headsets up there. Luigi, you all right now?
I'm good, man.
You ready for a fun show?
I'm always ready, Tony.
Now, we're going to do something different tonight because earlier today, we haven't done this before. I had a chance to interview Paul Mercurio, who's a comedian, a writer. The guy's an amazing story. He's been on Comedy Central. He's been on HBO. He's on the Daily Show. He's actually done bits on the Daily Show. He's now working with on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and they worked together at the Daily Show when Colbert was doing bits. Remember, Stephen Colbert was a bit player, and he would come on and do bits with Jon Stewart. And then Paul Mercurio did it. And the guy was a lawyer. Then he became an investment banker. Then he started writing jokes and sending them to Jay Leno. And then Jay Leno started reading his jokes on The Tonight Show and sending him $50 for every joke he wrote. And then the guy got out of the legal profession and became a comic.
It wasn't just legal. He was like also a hedge fund guy.
He was a hedge fund manager.
This guy in that business.
And then he decided, I'm giving all that up because I want to make $50 a joke writing for Jay Leno. I had spent all this money, went to Georgetown Law School. Nice. And that just shows you, you do something you think you love, and then you find out after all the money you spent on education, this isn't, I like what I'm doing, but I really like comedy a lot better. And he's really funny, and he's a great guy, and he's Italian, too. We've had a run of Italians on this show.
I've noticed that, working here.
It's not intentional. It just happens that way.
We're reunion.
Well, no, we did have Judah Freelander on here a couple weeks ago.
She's not Italian.
He's not Italian.
No, he's not Italian. No.
She's not Italian.
Yes.
We're going to play the phone calls that people call in.
That show.
Yeah, Joe's been off for a week now. Everything all right at home now with the family?
Yeah, everything's good. Thank you for all the good wishes.
Now, did you get stuck in the because we've had like daily protests in the city.
Daily protests. Yeah.
Yesterday
there should be another one in about 5 minutes. I'm not
Here's what I don't get. Listen, I get you have a right to protest. The First Amendment is still in effect, at least at this hour.
For now, yes.
And if you're going to protest something and you're mad about something, why don't you take it to the people that you're mad at? For example, if you're mad at politicians because something didn't happen in your place of employment, the law hasn't been changed, then why would you go and block traffic in the middle of a city where people are going home in rush hour,
holidays,
have nothing to do with any of your concerns? Maybe they're sympathetic to your concern, but guess what? Guess when you lose the sympathy?
Nope.
Yeah, exactly.
When you start interfering in their lives, when you start shutting down streets, and you start affecting business.
Yeah, it sounded like it was fun today around lunchtime around City Hall.
I wasn't there, but yesterday there was a protest on Walnut Street.
Yeah.
And then today the cab drivers are protesting because they don't like which Uber. There's like an Uber Black and then an Uber
White. It's like vodka.
No. There's like Uber Black are the traditional town cars and
So
limos.
they're the high-end
They're the
ones.
high end.
They're the ones that say, "Oh, it's cheaper than a cab," and then they charge you $60 to go 4
exactly.
blocks.
And then there's also the Uber. Well, what
Uber
else?
Red or communist.
Uber X.
yeah.
Uber X is
Uber
just
X?
Uber
Wasn't that
X.
a cartoon series on
I
like
think so.
Disney
It was on
Channel?
it was on the Cartoon Network, I think.
Uber X is the kind that you could go do. You know, you could take the Jeep Cherokee and start driving for Uber
But
X.
I thought Uber was just a bunch of people deciding to become cab drivers on their own.
Yeah, but Uber Black was people that purchased town car, really nice cars,
Right.
and then they started driving for Uber. But then any Joe Schmo can be an Uber X driver
Oh, good.
and be driving anything.
But aren't regular Uber drivers and Lyft drivers Joe Schmoes?
Yeah, but they
don't have to
the
join a
nice
union.
car.
They don't have to buy a
But the difference is that
medallion.
they have to have the nicer car.
Yeah.
They have
Yes,
to have
But
it.
here's my point. Cab drivers pay a lot of money for the medallions that they put on their car.
Right.
They pay for the right to be a cab driver, right?
Right.
And a lot of cab companies.
That's what they're complaining
You
about,
have
but
to. You actually don't make any money. You have to make money to even. You have to drive a lot of miles
To break even.
To break
Yeah,
even.
exactly, right.
So some of these guys work all day and
Yeah.
they make a little
They
bit
have
of money.
A gripe. It's just that, I don't know if they're going to.
No, the legitimate cab drivers who pay
Yeah.
for a cab have a
Sure,
right.
they have a right,
But
yeah.
now everybody, and listen, I believe in free market.
Yeah.
But I don't get this. This one the cab company and the other guys are protesting
and Uber
another
this and
company
Uber
that wants to come in here.
They even have Uber carjacking now in Camden.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah. That's terrific, actually. Yeah, that might have been what what's the name should be taken from the Sixers when he was driving over to Ben Franklin.
Oh,
Bridge with
Jaleel
100 miles.
Okafor,
Exactly,
yeah.
right.
I don't think he's
So
taking
he
Uber.
could use that service now.
He should be taking Uber, though.
Yeah, yeah.
In the meantime, let's bring her up here now. Let's bring up our first guest. She's an old friend. She's not old. But she's a friend. She looks great. She's got the wild hair thing going. And now she's going to be in a movie. Wow. I knew her when, back in the day. Ladies and gentlemen, Susie Stoic is here. Hi, Sue. Wait a minute. We got to plug her in.
Plug her in.
Plug her in. So, Suze, I haven't seen you in a long time. The last time I think I saw you, we were actually swimming in a pool. I'm not making this up. We're at a pool party at our buddy Brian Baldinger's house over in Marlton. And we're having a good time. And actually, I was already there. And then you show up. And then we're playing beer pong. And then all of a sudden, there's these challenges. You know, we have a couple of cocktails. And Susie's now, you were a swimmer, right, in college, right?
Yep, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, tell for real, at University of Cincinnati, right?
So I rowed at Cincinnati. I was supposed to. I quit my freshman year. I was supposed to swim, yes, in college. No, I ended up rowing, but I did swim. I was a quick little swimmer. So I kind of had the advantage on you, and that's why
I
I
would think
destroyed
so.
you. Wait.
Plus, I should be more buoyant than you,
Hold
though.
on. Wait. You started our first race, but then didn't I end up racing you and somebody else?
Yes, no, you were the best swimmer. You were a college collegiate swimmer.
Okay.
I didn't even know how to swim when I
You
grew
guys
up.
are all stronger and taller than me. Like really. I mean,
But we taped it, I believe. Did we not?
we did tape it. Robin taped it.
We have the tape of me swimming against Susie, and Brian Baldinger was involved too.
Oh yeah. No, and Brian's pretty good.
No, Brian's good because he's an athlete.
Yeah.
I'm not an
yeah,
athlete.
He's
But I did all right for a guy who can't swim.
Right, we're from
I mean,
South
when you
Philly,
consider,
we can't-
when you challenge somebody
You
who's
do
a
it,
really
so.
good swimmer,
Yeah.
who was a swimmer in college, and you can't swim, and you still do it, what do we
That's
call that?
Okay, that's courage. That's courage.
Yeah, it's guts.
Is that or stupidity?
Or stupidity.
Or
yes.
stupidity, yeah.
You're stu nuts.
But it wasn't deep, so I didn't have to worry about drowning.
No,
Although I
it's
can
not.
swim though, because I
Right.
scuba.
You used to swim
Scuba.
down the lakes when you were.
No, are you kidding
okay.
me?
Do you swim in the ocean?
Oh,
around
not here.
With all the sharks. and
Not
stuff?
here. I won't go on the Jersey Shore. I lived in California. I won't put my foot in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, no.
Or the Atlantic Ocean. See, unless you get the only time I put my feet in the water is south of like Hilton Head. From Hilton Head on down, that's when the Atlantic Ocean becomes warm and beautiful.
All right.
If you go down, you keep driving. It's the same ocean.
That's your line of demarcation.
Yeah, there's like a line in the water. You
Yeah.
see, this side's dirty,
Yeah.
this side's nice
Right.
in the Atlantic Ocean. Have you noticed that?
Do you have the shark app? So do you like?
No, I don't worry about it. I swim with the sharks.
Oh, you swim with the sharks.
So then when Robin and I, we go down to the
They swim
British
with the
Virgin
fishes
Islands.
after the show too.
We swim with the fishes, the seven fishes.
Yeah,
this
well,
year
yeah,
I'm
that's
swimming
in a
with the
couple
seven
weeks.
fishes
Yeah,
on
exactly.
Christmas Eve.
Oh
The
yeah,
schmelz.
yeah.
It's an Italian tradition.
That's the Italian tradition.
Bring some schmelz out for the fans.
The smelts.
Luigi probably made it.
So anyway, so that's about the swimming stuff. But I know I only go in clean water. We can see the sharks when you jump into the water.
Well, that's
and the
good.
big barracuda.
That's awesome.
and you snorkel with them. They don't bother you. They only bother you when you're in dirty water and you can't see them and they can't see you.
Right.
And then you get in their way.
Then there's a problem.
But when they see you and you see them, they don't bother you. Seriously.
What do you?
I've done massive research on this.
Okay, do you? If when you saw a shark, would you tense up and like freak out and go the other direction, or would you just be
No,
like?
I just swim right where. Seriously. And I'm not swimming with great whites, but you go down to the British Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
They're black-tip reef sharks. They're dangerous. They can hurt you. But if you swim and you don't mess with them, they're not going to mess with you. We swim with barracuda, and they don't bother you. And they're gigantic.
Do you concur? Do you concur?
I'll show you video.
Oh.
We have video of this to prove this.
No, he is. He is like.
Well, Robin will tell you.
He's a Jacques Cousteau of the.
I'm the
podcast.
Jacques Cousteau.
Yes.
But anyway, so now
Underwater expert.
Then I saw you in Atlantic City a couple times, and you were doing the MMA stuff down there,
Yeah,
the
you guys
CFFC, right?
Yeah. That was
And-
fun. You guys had a good time at that. Robin,
Oh, it was phenomenal.
That was your first trip. That was your first trip down.
I have to remember, my God, it was my first time, and prior to it, I had the same feeling when I watched boxing for the first time live, because prior to that, I'd only seen both boxing and MMA on camera and
You mean on TV?
on TV, and it looks so violent. I don't know what it is, but
Because
then
it is.
No, but there's a difference. I don't know what it is, but
fake.
when you
that's
see
right.
it in person. Maybe it's because you don't have the instant replay and you're not seeing everything in slow-mo,
Right.
which makes it look so much more, but when you're seeing it, and it's over, and you're like, oh my God, that was amazing.
Yeah, the fights are intense. Right?
Yeah, they're really,
so-
really intense.
they're
And,
fun to
and I
watch.
had no issue with, I've never had an issue with blood, but I don't think it was just like I didn't see all the slow-mo and the teeth being knocked out and stuff like that. It just happened.
I never had an issue with blood either until my audiovisual guy, who was also in the Great Sports Debate. I was writing some notes or whatever, and he says, "What's up?" And I'm like, "I think I have like a hangnail." And he's like, and I'm like, "All this blood's all over my paper." He's like, "No, that like came from the cage. We're 2 feet away." I'm like, "Oh, do these guys keep like a clean bill of health? Like, please."
Now you're not you're not fighting now.
No,
are you?
so when they hired me on, I was the host of that show, and
Right.
so I would do their interviews and stuff like that. But it was the first time I was cage side, and I was like, blah, like there was blood
Yeah,
coming
down in
from
the Borgata,
cage.
we would go there and
It's
and
intense.
Yeah,
but
it was
it's fun.
though. It's a fun show, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
And plus, it's the Borgata, which is fun.
Well,
But, like,
and again, I had no idea
Joe doesn't like
how
the
much fun it
Borgata,
was.
by
oh,
the
you're
way.
not a fan?
I love it.
No, he's kidding. That's what
I'm like,
Not cage fighting, but I do slot machine
you gotta
fighting.
give it a shot. You gotta give cage fighting a try.
I'll try. Like watching it or
Yeah, well, I mean,
watching it because my days
either.
are over. Yeah, exactly.
His ground game's not very strong.
Yeah,
The only
exactly.
kind of fighting,
All right,
he just
I'll
wants to
sit there
do
and watch.
oil wrestling or something.
Yeah,
That's
he's
kind of
into
more
mud
his
wrestling.
I think
thing.
for blood to be splattered on me, it's I'm
Exactly.
down.
I did
Sit in the
4
first
years,
row.
Tone.
You did 4 years
Yeah,
of what?
I had 3 semi-professional fights.
Did you really?
Okay, wait. You like
But now
played
Luigi last week, I got to hear this.
tennis.
He's a Renaissance
you're-
man.
So
Luigi.
last week on the
Yeah,
show,
I've done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Sambo wrestling.
so last week on the show, we're talking about John Clark, our buddy. I don't know how it
yeah.
came about.
Right.
We're talking about John Clark, who's a good friend of ours
Right.
who works at
Oh,
Dentist.
and then Luigi says, "Oh, I don't like him."
Yeah. And then I said, we're talking, I don't know what
dork.
we're talking,
Oh,
we're
wait,
talking about
wait.
tennis. We're talking about tennis, and John Clark's a great tennis
Oh
player,
yeah,
right?
yeah. He's-
And then Luigi says, "Oh, I could beat him."
I can.
And I'm like, "I didn't even know you played tennis, Luigi." And then
Ask a question every now and again.
so I tweeted John Clark. I tweeted John Clark, and he's going to try to come out here next week, and we're going to do this tennis challenge.
You want me to
John
play him?
Clark
You want me to
against-
play him next week?
No, we're gonna arrange
We'll
a
set
charity
something up.
tennis match
all right.
between
Luigi
you and
versus-
John Clark.
Yeah, we'll set it up.
Set it up.
Now John Clark,
Lock
as
it
you
in.
know, is
That'll
just
be
like
TV gold.
6'3", 6'4",
What
right?
does that matter?
Yeah, and he's pretty good at tennis. Like, are
Yeah.
you sure?
I was third in the state when I was 16 years old.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what state.
I know.
Which state?
This one?
This one.
Northeast.
The North. He was the Mayfair champion out there one week, and then he went to Tacony and he won another fight.
This is only going to make him more riled up.
I know.
You put your money on that horse, and we'll see what happens.
No, listen, I'm not
aggravated
ripping
now.
you. I just didn't know. Like anytime we mention a sport, I was good at that.
Why?
And
Because
was
I
good
didn't
at
grow
that.
up. I didn't grow up in a
athletic
country
supporter.
club. Is that why?
Did you grow up in a country club?
No, I didn't.
No.
I don't know if John Clark did either.
So now, speaking of MMA, you're involved with it. Now there's a movie coming out, right? And Holly Holm is in it.
Oh yes.
And like a month ago, nobody knew who she was, right?
Yeah,
Unless you're
right.
really.
But-
I mean, even the MMA fans didn't really know much about Holly Holm. And
No.
then, of course, the Ronda Rousey fight, and it was unbelievable.
Right. Yeah. So, did you guys watch it?
No, I didn't. I don't pay for it.
Oh, okay,
I don't
all
pay
right.
for pay-per-view.
Did anybody out here watch it? Yeah, pretty.
Oh.
like,
It was the most
sick,
anticipated.
right?
It was so anticipated.
Well, anyway, it was a great fight. And yeah, like Holly's pretty impressive.
Now you know her, right?
Yeah, she did really well in the movie too. Misha Tate was by far and away probably like my favorite person to work with.
So the
though.
movie's called
Fight Valley.
Fight Valley,
Right.
and it brings it's all real MMA fighters.
Yeah.
And
Chris
this movie's already been shot, and the company's Breaking Glass Pictures. So how did you get involved in this? Because of your relationship with MMA, doing the announcing?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Breaking Glass Pictures, they're actually local in Philadelphia too. And then, but there was a lot of people out of California and New York, and it was a weird little summer. And Natalie and we catch up every once in a while, and I was like, dude, strangest thing happened. Because I come in and out of a couple boxing gyms, and these guys were like, they saw a picture of my coach and I on the wall, and they were like, we're looking for extras or whatever. So they got a hold of me, and I went in and whatever. I just ended up reading for a different part, and I got the lead role. So that was cool.
Awesome. That's awesome. Now the movie's coming out early next year, right?
It's supposed to be done 2016, spring 2016. I think is like what the teaser says.
here before
But
you know
but I don't think it'll be till summer.
But when Holly Holm, when this movie was filmed, she hadn't won, right?
No,
she was still an up and comer,
Right.
So now this is going to be huge with her in it, right?
Yeah, it's good timing too, because Misha's going to have to fight. I think Misha might get to fight Ronda again too, which would be pretty awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, because Misha's lost to her twice, and Ronda will come back like pretty angry, like ready to win.
Well, she's.
Just chip on her shoulder.
I mean, when you see interviews with her,
Oh,
she scares me.
yeah, no, she just won the ESPYs. Like she beat out like Venus and Serena and Carly Lloyd. Like Ronda Rousey
Marco
won
Farrell.
the ESPYs. Like it's just like
It's
that's
the only
how
thing that
big...
Caitlyn Jenner didn't win last year, I think.
Yeah.
Because Caitlyn Jenner won the ESPY
He
too.
was
And
eligible for like 12 categories.
And crank it up, Robin. There you go.
Nice. Oh, I love it. I
hear you.
It doesn't
Yeah.
get old. It doesn't get old to me.
And then he used Harry Mays, who was here last week, one of my favorites.
Get out!
Yeah, I love
you-
that. Hey, you guys, fun like coming down memory lane with you guys.
We have one
so
more
we have this.
call-out.
This is the last one.
We
So
have
this
one
is the
more
one
call.
where we need your input as a female.
Escape yet.
She tried to
We
second
play a
herself
game every
off
week, and our
stage.
good buddy Joe right
I
there.
know. I'm usually used to
Got
rap.
another film
All right, let's get the heck out of here.
She's got a music video to
Exactly.
film, I think.
No, actually, I
City
think
Hall.
you have to go spray somebody.
In the next 10 minutes.
She's in the next Roots video, I think, that they're filming.
Yes, filming here.
Exactly. All right, now here's the final one, our
Okay.
final voice message of the night.
Hello, guys, and hello to the lovely Robin. After this beautiful weather the past weekend, tonight's F, Marry, Kill segment will feature climate change mouthpieces. Tonight's options are the guy that should be Hyman Roth's neighbor in Miami, Bernie Sanders. Why the long face, John Kerry, and part man, part robot, internet inventor, Al Gore. I'll hang up and listen.
All right, now you know how we play the game F, Marry, Kill, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
so Joe, who's sitting right there, Ruin J.
job.
Ruff,
Yeah.
he calls in every week, and it was Luigi's birthday. He got to play it a couple weeks ago, but since you're two females here, and Natalie can play along if you want, F, Marry, Kill, the three contestants are, as he calls them, the mouthpieces for climate change. I think he called climate change mouthpieces.
Yes.
That's what he referred to them.
Oh, this
That's
is
his words,
so
not
hard.
mine. Bernie Sanders, who looks like a very, very cool, calm and collected guy.
Yep.
And he said, why the long face, John Kerry? And you notice we found the best pictures of all three
Yes.
of you
Yeah,
guys.
They look very,
And then Al Gore, who invented the
We
internet.
had to search far and wide for those.
Like the Al Gore picture.
I like that. He looks like he's,
Okay, now.
I'm gonna let Susie make the first call on this.
Okay.
F, Marry, Kill, Susie.
I'm gonna go with marry Bernie Sanders. Yeah.
Why? He's broke. He wants everybody else's money. He doesn't have any of his.
Well,
but the government will take care of him. I mean, she's socialist.
it's more of a personal reason.
Okay.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
it's just because I like.
She did a movie with him.
Yeah, after our movie,
Right.
no, I like that geriatrics age
right.
where I tend to date and marry right
right.
around.
You're like an
Well,
Anna
because
Nicole
you know that
Smith
you don't have
character.
to be with him for very long.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
Anna
But
Nicole.
Anna Nicole Smith nailed it though. She, her guys have money.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
broke. I know that. Yeah. So I'm just.
You're
I'm
gonna
in it
marry
for
a
the
broke
age.
guy?
I'm in it for the age thing. You know, like
Okay.
older men seem to have it together. You know.
Well, then why do you think
Except
you hang
for-
out with me all the
Comes
time?
Viagra.
That's
Come on.
See? Yeah. Good.
All right,
Okay.
so you're gonna marry?
I'll marry him.
Bernie
and then, yeah.
Sanders.
Okay. So I get the marry part. What's?
No, you got to give me all
Oh, I
three.
have to do
Yeah.
it all. Oh.
No.
F and kill. Thank you for the internet. Are you serious?
You would kill Al Gore.
Yes, I would.
But you would
Yeah.
sleep with John Kerry, who's married to the woman, the Heinz
Billionaire, yeah.
heir.
Yeah,
He's got
exactly.
7 mansions and a
Yeah.
$7 million boat, and you would just
Yep.
sleep with him
that's
on his
my-
boat or in his mansion.
I mean, neither. Those are boring. Like
Yeah.
we would F somewhere else.
Exactly.
Okay.
Robin, do you agree?
Okay, no, I
Oh,
don't.
Robin's got
I don't.
different-
I don't.
No, you don't agree.
I don't agree.
No one's going to agree on.
And
marrying
I'm
Bernie
sticking
Sanders.
with this theme. You got to marry whoever's the richest because you don't like them, but you might as well marry them for a reason.
Okay, Robin. You know what? You won your case here. You won
so-
your case with me.
No, it's just different opinions.
Yes,
That's what we do
I'm
on this
just
show.
because if you don't like any of them, there has to be a reason that's worthwhile marrying one of them.
Not just because old men are attractive to me.
Yeah.
Is Bernie Sanders
I'm
really
sorry.
attractive to you?
Oh.
I'm just checking.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know.
So I don't know which one. Who's richer, Al Gore or
Oh no,
John?
John Kerry is. He's
John Kerry?
part of the Heinz. We married the rich one of the
Okay,
richest
I didn't
women
know
on
because
earth.
I know that Gore is really, really rich too.
Yeah, he
because-
got rich though with the whole internet and
Internet
global
machine
warming
thing.
stuff.
But didn't he marry some rich?
No, Tipper Gore is not rich.
And they're divorced.
Oh, okay. So
exactly.
John
Good
Kerry for sure. that was easy. And then
Who would you kill, Robin?
Who would you kill?
You had to kill one of these three people. Who would
Bernie
you?
would probably be easy to kill. You could just
yeah,
trick him
you
or
know
something.
though. Okay, so Al Gore just bugs the crap out of me because of all of his insensitive. Like he's so
Look at him. He looks great.
He has
takes
such
care
a
of
double
takes care of
standard on
himself.
everything.
Yeah.
I mean, he's touting about the
looks kinda
whole
excited.
global warming, yet he's flying around in his private airplane. So kill him. And
Crash his plane.
This
then-
is all just. This
Well,
is
it's hypothetical.
This is
Yeah,
a make-believe
exactly,
world.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
We're not
Robin
killing
sounds a little-
anybody.
sounds a little
No.
serious.
which I end up then effing Bernie Sanders. So
Oh, go on.
how did that
That'll be the
happen?
most exciting.
Wait a minute.
That'll be the best 2 minutes of your life. Robin. Come on.
Actually, Robin, no, I agree. I like your order. I'm going with.
Wait a minute, you can't change
changed
your
it?
mind
I did.
now.
I just,
Okay.
yes, I can, and yes, I just.
You
did.
know,
right.
well, I don't know. Oh, what Natalie has. Oh, yes, Natalie should.
Natalie, you want to play
Do
the
you
game?
have input?
Yeah, I think mine are completely different than everybody else's.
All right, now who are you going to marry?
I'm definitely marrying Al Gore because he's best friends with Leonardo DiCaprio. They do their little climate change stuff together, so that's how I can get close to
Wait.
Leo.
You're supporting climate change, Nat?
Changing climate.
You're okay. Yeah,
Climate
We
change.
love climate change. Look how
They
great
do
the
their-
weather is.
they're
If this is climate change,
pretty
I'm all
sure
for
it's
it.
They're
Stick with it.
activist work. They do it together. I only care about Leonardo
It's a
DiCaprio.
angle more.
Really?
Okay,
Yes.
all right. So,
Are you
So
going to
I'm
go see the
only-
movie where he gets raped by a bear, supposedly?
Yeah, I saw that. The
No.
bear will win the Oscar before him. I'm just saying.
Supposedly that scene's not in
Yeah,
the
that's
movie.
what I. That's what.
Have you seen the preview for this movie, the DiCaprio movie?
Yeah.
He's like out in the, he's like, what's it about, Robin? It's based on a true story, right?
Yeah, it's based upon a guy who, back in the 1800s, who was, it was when they were like trying to discover the United States. And he went off with a group of trappers and trekkers, and they got in trouble with the winter, and they get attacked by a bear, and then the group that he's with, the other guys, leave him, and he somehow
They leave him for dead.
They leave him for dead, and he somehow survives, and then decides to get retribution.
Oh, and then I don't have to go see
And I don't
this
remember
now.
what
Yeah,
his
I'll wait-
name
I'll
is,
wait
though.
for
Like
spoiler
it's
alert.
based upon a real guy, although the story is somewhat embellished, I'm sure. And I don't think he was raped by the bear.
I know, but that was
I
one
think
of
it's
the things.
consensual.
I think
It was consensual.
It was consensual,
They
yeah.
changed the whole thing. They changed the whole angle so they make it less violent. Now kids could go see it.
All right, wait a minute. Let's get back to Natalie. So Natalie would marry Al Gore.
Yes, only for Leonardo DiCaprio
Okay.
to get close to him. Then I would kill Barry Sanders because he's going to die soon anyway.
Actually,
Well, yeah, no, you just
you know when he'll die?
You can get two birds with one stone if you let
I
him
know
die
when he'll
naturally
when
and
he
then
gets
kill
the
somebody
Democratic
else.
nomination.
No, you know when
Because
he'll
Hillary
die?
will hit him, it'll knock him off.
He will die if there's any thought that he has a chance to beat
Yeah,
Hillary Clinton.
exactly.
Then somehow he will mysteriously die
guy.
and not be heard from again because there's no way they're going to keep Hillary from
right.
not keep her from getting the nomination. And then then you're going to kill Bernie. And then what are you going to do with John Kerry?
So obviously that only leaves F. But you know what my pickup line would be?
What?
Hey John, why the long face?
Oh,
That'll work.
What up?
exactly. I gotta give you a
Hopefully
rim
there's
shot.
something up.
There you have it. Your edition, this week's edition of FMK, the game show sensation sweeping the nation. Well, Susie, it was great to see you again. You coming back next week for the big party?
yeah. Yeah,
Bring some friends.
I want to see John Clark take on Luigi, or you know,
We're gonna play right here.
and
Yeah,
still,
well,
We may have like one set. We'll set up because this, it's a dark theater here.
Yeah, we'll do table tennis.
It's going to be awesome in here, man. Next week.
All
It's
right,
going to be
so,
crazy.
Yeah, so like a holiday edition, is that what?
Yes, I want
Christmas
everybody to
Eve.
wear red. You know,
Big
wear like
push.
your. Can you wear the Daisy Dukes you did in the video?
Yeah.
The music video.
Probably not.
And a Santa hat.
And a Santa hat.
Okay, maybe I'll wear my Santa hat. Sweatpants. Daisy Dukes. That was terrible. I'm scarred for life. Good thing. All right.
That was in the video.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah,
Susie
thank
Stoic. Go see her in the movie next year. She's blowing up. I knew her when she was just Susie Stoic. The stories that I saw is the quarterback situation. The Eagles have the situation with Sam Bradford. Will they keep him? Do they let him go out and pursue free agency? But the other guy, Kirk Cousins down in Washington's got an interesting story because he's having a good year. 18 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 300 yards against the Bears last week. And the question is, do they franchise him? Because if you franchise him, he's going to count $18.544 million against the cap. The Washington Redskins, as bad as it's been for the Eagles, you know the last time they won a playoff game?
No, it's got to be
1999. They won a playoff game after the 1999 season. 16 years ago was the last time the Washington Redskins won a playoff game. And now he's in a good spot because he's a free agent. There's a lot of teams that are horrible. Somebody's going to make him an offer.
And he
if they
kind
let
of
him
fell
go
into
out.
it, too. I mean, the way
Exactly,
it
and
worked
he got a break because
Yeah.
RG3 couldn't play, kept getting hurt.
Yep.
This guy's up and down, and now they're in a position, and if they win this division and they make the playoffs,
that'd be-
this guy can name his
Yeah,
price.
it'll be on Easy Street. Yeah.
Because even if they don't want to sign him to a long-term deal,
He'll get a deal.
they're going to have to give him $18.5 million for 1 year.
Yep.
Or they're going to sign him to a couple-year deal.
Yeah.
So that's the advantage of playing well in that year when
Well,
you
it's all,
when you're
and everything's at the right time.
and Sam Bradford's in the same situation. He got the 1 year deal, and now the
he's starting
question
to
is,
play better.
and what do you do?
Right.
Do you go out and draft a guy? You don't bring Mark Sanchez back. You got to keep. I think they're going to keep Sam Bradford.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
I really do. I think they're going to keep him, and that's not because it's a horrible thing. It's just that who's out there in
No,
the draft
there's
this year?
nobody
There's
out
a couple of good young quarterbacks, but you do what you do. You do what Baltimore did, except they let him go to Buffalo. This Tyrod Taylor, who was taken in the 6th round, sat in Baltimore for 4 years, now gets a chance in Buffalo because they made a mistake taking E.J. Manuel high in the draft, and he can't play. They run him out for trick plays now, E.J. Manuel. Same thing happened with Geno Smith with the Jets, and you see it around the league. And the Johnny Manziel thing, now he plays, and he plays well, and they're going to have to make a decision on him. But to me, the Bradford thing's interesting, and you're going to see so many teams need quarterbacks. And even in Denver with Brock Osweiler, they took him a couple of years ago. He sits and watches Peyton gets a chance to play, and looks pretty good. So anyway, that's a lot of football going on. And the other interesting thing about this coming weekend is that the Eagles can afford to lose this game, and they can still win the division.
Yeah.
All they have to do is win the last 2 games.
Yep.
So
Which
they
are
can
winnable.
lose to Arizona and still win the division if they beat Washington and the Giants in their final 2 games.
Yep.
That's how crazy this division is. And you know what they would finish, right? 8-8.
Yeah.
8-8, they would win because they'd have the tiebreakers over both Washington and over the Giants because they would have swept the Giants, and then they would have had better division record than the Washington Redskins do. So that's how crazy this division has been.
And you know,
this year.
I mean, it's weird because like normally you would say, well, there's no way they're going to beat Arizona, but they
can. They
have
beat New
I know they are beating teams that nobody thought that they were going to win.
Well,
and
the
they're
Patriots
losing.
in particular, but the Gronkowski thing obviously hurt them a lot. But give the Eagles credit. And everybody wants to. There's always an excuse. We're always mad when the Eagles win. We always try to find a reason why they shouldn't have won. And when they lose, we know they're going to lose.
Well, they
so,
tend to play down to the bad teams and up for the good teams.
So it's an interesting. At least here we are going into Christmas, and we've got meaningful football games going on for the next couple of weeks. Meanwhile, and we're going to talk some NBA too, because I believe our buddy Joe wants to get up and talk what everybody's talking about this time of the year.
Yes.
The 76ers. Joe, you want to get up here and have a Sixer conversation here? We're going to try to keep it to like 10, 30, 20, 30 seconds if we can.
All right.
I'd like to keep.
Wins. That should take about 5 seconds.
Yeah, can we discuss?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea? Has anybody looked at the schedule to figure out when
Their next win will be?
the 76ers will win another game?
2017.
No, seriously. I'm trying to be serious here now. Why do you always have to poke fun of my team, my town, my 76ers?
Your 76ers. Well, one, I think Brown's highly overrated to get a 2-year extension.
Highly overrated. The guy's won like 18 games.
Exactly. And
what is it,
where-
36? And I forget what the number is.
Yeah, but but they play for him, Tony. Come on.
They
Yeah,
play hard.
They blow how many fourth quarter leads? He's worse
Exactly.
than Jay Wright.
Get a little closer to the mic there.
The most overrated
little
coach
Yeah, you're
in
tall.
the history of coaching.
Yes.
Joe, you're
Move
so
on
tall. You
closer
need
to
to
the
get a little
mic
bit
now.
closer to the mic.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
That's all right.
So I've been saying all along that the Sixers, and this is not because I'm some seer, but this ownership group, they bought it to flip it. They could pay $270, $280 for it, and now it's supposedly worth $700 million.
It's all the winning we've been doing.
Exactly, and that's even what at what they are right now.
Yeah, I know.
If they start winning and they get the Camden building built for them, it's going to be $1 billion franchise.
Sure.
Whether they're good or not, whether they win champion. Look at the Clippers. They sold for $2 billion under duress because they got the owner out.
Yeah, and
you don't tell me the 76ers, with the history they have, is not going to be $1 billion franchise. So I don't knock the guys for wanting to sell, but I remember Norman Brayman, who did the same thing. Oh, I'm buying this team. I'm a Philly guy. These guys aren't Philly guys, but Norman Brayman played the whole, I'm from here.
And
I want to
never
win
here.
a championship. And he had good teams, and he didn't go the extra mile to try to win a championship. So I don't. It's not that I hate the Sixer ownership group. I just don't. I don't think they're in this to win. And I believe the story last week. Not that Mike Silver, who's come out now, Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, that he didn't force the Sixers to hire Jerry Colangelo. That they talked about it and they all agreed that it would be a good move. I don't buy that entirely. I think that they were told, you know what, Sam Hinkie's bad with agents and he's bad with free agents, and he just sits in his basement and does what he does. They needed somebody with credibility in here.
Right.
But the Mike D'Antoni thing is the one that really got me when I heard that last week. You don't bring in veteran players to help these guys because nobody wants to pay a veteran player because they don't want to make the playoffs. But nobody's there teaching these kids. What's Mike D'Antoni going to teach the young 76er players when he's a run-and-gun coach on a team that can't shoot?
And then why would you give him a 2-year extension and hire a new assistant coach?
Exactly.
What is that saying about Brown in general?
I agree. I think every move that they've made,
Sounds like I was just bringing names in.
it just doesn't make any sense to me. Does it make any? I'm looking for logic.
Well,
why would you bring in Mike D'Antoni instead of a veteran player to help these guys?
That's why I came here for you.
Right.
You think I have the answers?
I'm throwing that to you.
If I had the answers, you know what?
D'Antoni.
If I had the answers, if I had the answers, I'd be sitting in a bunker with Sam Hinkie getting praised by all these fanboys who think he's doing an amazing job, winning 18 games a year.
I think their ranks are lowering now.
Although I do think, Tony, I think, in all honesty, you would do a better job than him.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
Because I don't pretend. I know basketball, but I'm not going to sit here and watch tape of guys all over the country and say, like, for example, this kid, Ben Simmons, right? He's supposed to be the best player in the draft. You know where he plays? LSU, right? You know that LSU stinks. You know that LSU
Best
may
player
not
on the
make
team.
they may not make the NCAA tournament, right? This guy's the best player in the country. He's on a team that's pretty good most of the time. LSU is a big-time program.
Yeah.
They're so bad
Does he
that
drive
they
108 miles an hour, too?
He better, but he's still going to be the number one overall draft pick, even though his team will not qualify.
Well, that tells you about the crop this year.
It's a perfect fit.
But isn't that amazing? Yeah. Because in basketball, you have one. If this guy's the best player in college basketball, and he's on a team that's not great, shouldn't he single-handedly help his team get into the NCAA tournament, win 20 games?
Shaq did.
Exactly. So that's, again, does that mean he's not a good player? No. But that just tells you how we put so much stake into 19-year-old kids to come in and save your bacon.
Did you hear that they offered Brand an extension?
Elton Brand?
Elton Brand, yeah, to help mentor.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they brought Elton Brand in before, but you know, and the other guy they're mentioning is my karaoke partner out there at Lake Tahoe.
Who, Harry Mace?
No.
That's Harry Como, you mean?
No, not Perry Como.
Shane Battier.
Shane Battier and Elton Brand were the two names that they were throwing around.
Bringing as mentors to the...
Exactly. That's what I've been reading. And so Shane Battier is a great guy. They're not going to play, though, right? What are they going to do?
Yeah.
They're going to sit on the bench?
Yeah. Hang out with him at night.
They're going to be designated drivers.
But Embiid had Luke Mbute last year.
Yeah.
Who's now with the Clay starting
Luke
with the Clippers.
Mbamute.
No, it's Luke Richard Mbamute.
Mbamute.
I know. I knew him when he played at UCLA.
I know him now.
Luke Richard.
Right.
Mbamute.
Sounds like a hockey player. Well,
Exactly.
Richard sounds like a hockey player.
Exactly. So there you go. So you like the Mike D'Antoni move? Do you understand anything the Sixers are doing?
Absolutely zero. No, I don't like it at all.
Do you like it?
No. I don't like him being there. I don't like Brown there.
You don't like Brett Brown?
No.
You don't think he's getting a raw deal by just being forced to tank?
Nah. Well, where were they finished last year? How many wins did they have?
18.
18. And
Was
they
it
got
19 they won? No, it was 18 and then 19. So they made tremendous progress from 18 wins. And this year, if they win 18 games, it'll be a miracle, right?
Yes, awesome.
See, I thought they'd win 20, but I don't know
I think
now.
we're going to set the record this year.
Look, coaching can only take you so far. Talent's got to take you the rest of the way. They just don't have the talent.
Like Joe was
and
saying,
that's it.
they tail off at the end of the game. It's not like
They're up at halftime. They're up in the third quarter.
They can't finish a game because they can't compete for a full NBA game. They're not good NBA players.
And why are people so excited about that? People. I've never seen this in my entire life.
They're starving for a winning squad. That's
but this is not starving. This is a famine.
I know.
This is like
I'm saying they have all this wishful thinking, but it's not rooted in reality.
It's not because everything's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
We could spin that wheel and have a better chance of getting better than the 76ers.
But they're just so
I think there's Sixers tickets on that wheel, isn't there?
I think there are Sixer tickets. Actually, if you win Sixer tickets, you get 4 tickets.
We give you the wheel.
We give
roll
you the
yourself
wheel,
away.
Yes.
And you get alcohol too.
You give us your tickets, and then we try to get rid of them.
Exactly.
That's what we do if you win this.
Yeah, but with them picking up Okafor, I mean, they got it right off the bat. They're better because Embiid never even played, so he got to play.
Yeah, but he's the only good player on this team now.
Right, and they still can't. And
even him, you got to watch because he's not.
Yeah.
And now Noel, people are wondering whether this guy's fragile, whether he's the star. Listen, I'm not knocking the kids. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They go play a year, they come out, and that's their right.
He's soft though.
Is he soft?
I mean, I know what his he's got the cornea thing. I mean, if you can't see, you can't see. But the wrist. I mean, come on.
Cut me, Mick.
What the hell's that?
Cut me.
He missed a couple games because of his wrist.
Well, I'm sorry, we run out of time. That concludes tonight's Philadelphia 76ers update segment.
I went a little longer than it should, actually.
Yeah, exactly. I think we talked more Sixers than all of the sports stations in the city combined.
That's it.
For the last week.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay,
I love
nice.
Jeannie Buss.
Nice.
She's great. Better than I'd watch her.
Right.
I'll go watch her sit in the luxury suite before I go watch an
the
NBA
Sixers
game.
Exactly.
Her and Phil Jackson.
Right.
Reminiscing
Talking
about
yoga.
Montana.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they live in the off season.
Yeah.
Speaking of Montana,
isn't
it time to play Paul Mercurio's interview here?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
And we are doing our very first ever Tony Bruno Show podcast Skype call, ladies and gentlemen. That's the kind of technology we have here. Every week we introduce something new, something earth-shattering, something spectacular. And we bring to you a man who's in his living room somewhere in New York with nothing but gigantic VHS tapes, Betamax tapes, Peabody Awards, all kinds of... Well, there it is. Look at that. That's a beautiful office right there. The man went from...
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm not wearing pants. I'm in my underwear.
Well, so am I, but that's what's great about doing this. The man who went from Italian kid in Providence, Rhode Island, to lawyer, to investment banker, to comedy writer, to comedy star, to winning an Emmy Award, a Peabody Award, to stand-up, to podcasting, to his own CDs, to everything. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Mercurio, how are you, man?
Wow, I'm great, and I'm really impressed with that guy, whoever you just described. I'm good, my fellow Italian. How are you?
I'm good. I don't have Peabodys or Emmys, though. I did win a Mr. Peabody Award because I used to love Fractured Fairy Tales back in the day. Remember that show?
I remember that show. He had all the answers.
Exactly.
I also think he was getting a lot of tail in that cartoon, but he would never ever say that. But I think he was scoring women. That guy was smart.
Absolutely. Now, so talk about this career, because you're an Italian kid, just like I, growing up in Providence, Rhode Island, New England fan, and then all of a sudden you go from lawyer to investment banker. How the hell did you make the transition? I mean, you could have bought the 76ers, actually. That's the guys up there. Jeffrey Lurie's the New England guy who bought the Eagles. He was, he had money. He had family money. You didn't come from family money, though, did you, Paul?
Listen, based on the way the Eagles and the Sixers are playing, I could buy them both right now. By the way, how is the NFC East going to even have a chance? Really? With these losing records, it's like saying you have a perfect bowler, but you're using bumpers. It doesn't really count. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Didn't the Philadelphia Eagles go up to New England and beat your Patriots a couple of weeks ago as 13-point underdogs?
Yes, but there was I think you guys messed with the footballs. Your football I was a lawyer on Wall Street. I was doing M&A deals. I grew up Italian family in Rhode Island, and I started writing short films. I made some short films. One of them got into the Aspen Comedy Festival. And then I started writing jokes as a hobby. I don't know why. And I was doing these huge M&A deals. I was working like day and night. And then one night there was like a private function, and Jay Leno was performing. And one of the other lawyers goes, "You want to come and take a break?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm going to be here all night. I don't have time." He goes, "Nah, come on." And I'm like, "All right, screw it." And as I stood up from the computer, I remember, I'll never forget, I hit the print button, and I'm like, and I printed out all these jokes I had, like a thick, like pages and pages. And he performs. I go up to him afterwards. I go, "Look, Mr. Leno, I don't know if you need jokes, but I got these. I don't know what to do with them." And he goes, "Okay." And he really does talk everybody like they're letting helium out of a balloon very slowly. It's like freaks you out. Like you just want to go, look, breathe, so your head doesn't explode. Breathe. So he takes the jokes. I think I got blown up. The next day he calls me and he says, I need jokes for the Tonight Show monologue. I'll hire you to start sending jokes in for the Tonight Show monologue. He goes, what do you do? I'm a lawyer. He goes, I knew it. I go, why? He goes, your setups are way too long. You're too wordy. You write like a lawyer. He goes, just get to the joke. Right? 5 days later, he calls me. He says, I'm going to do one of your jokes on the Tonight Show. And he does that joke. He pays me $50 for the joke. And it was the most powerful thing that ever happened to me. So then I became obsessed with writing jokes and sending them to Leno to the point where I was going to deal meetings with 2 notebooks. One was for deals and one was for jokes. And I was not taking any deal notes. I was just taking joke notes. And then he said, go try the jokes out before you send them to me. And I said, how do you do that? He goes, you go to open mic nights. So I started to go to open mic nights at dive bars around New York City. I would sneak out of work at a dinner break. I'd have a car take me downtown. I'd take my jacket, my tie off, and I'd go to places. One of the places I worked was called Downtown Beirut 2. Now, they were either franchising these hellholes or Israeli fighters felt one. I'm not sure.
Wow.
And basically, it was a dysfunctional Cheers. A hooker worked out of there. Pimp worked out of there. They dealt drugs out of there. There was a sign on the men's room door that said the toilet seat is only to be used to go to the bathroom, not to cut coke. Thank you, the management. Thank you, the management. So I'm on stage one night, and I'm waiting to go on stage, and there's a folk singer, because there was poets and folk singers too, and he's playing Blowing in the Wind, like badly. Like, yeah, there's this huge guy with a cobra tattooed on the back of his shaved head with studs in his face, like 6'3", and he's like talking to himself at the bar, and I'm sitting next to him in my little Brooks Brothers shirt, and going, and he's like, and he's like, and he goes over to the pool table, and he gets in a fight with a guy. He runs out of the bar, and the guy at the pool table grabs his neck, and he starts screaming, "He cut me, man! He cut me!" And it was a drug deal gone bad, and he sliced him across the side of the neck with a box cutter. Now, all right, he's screaming, but he's drunk. He's not juggler, like he didn't hit the juggler, but he's really bleeding. He cut me. His girlfriend's like, "Oh my God, look at that! He cut me." The answer, my friend. This is all true, by the way. Now, I think the show's over, and I'm about to leave, and I hear the MC go up and go, "All right, you guys ready for some comedy?" So I go on stage right now. I don't know that I don't have to go on stage. I'm doing this like a month. I don't have an act. I don't know what to do. He's screaming. The girlfriend's crying. The cops are there taking a police report. It's mayhem. And I go, "Nice to be here at Downtown Beirut 2. I always wanted to follow a slashing." Well, thank you. I thought that was a pretty good line. The guy who got cut heard me said slashing, and he thought I was making fun of him. And he goes, "Hey," and he's drunk, and he goes, "You making fun of me?" He goes, "I don't need to take this crap from you." And he takes all these bloody cocktail napkins, and he wads them up, and he throws them at me.
Wow.
And they stick to my shirt, my white Brooks Brothers shirt, right? I'm going, no one's paying attention. He turns back to the bar, and he goes, "Hey, everybody." He turns to me, he goes, "What are you doing anyway?" I go, "I'm trying to tell jokes." He goes, "Oh, yeah, I like jokes." He turns back to the bar. He goes, "Hey, you guys, shut the hell up. This guy's trying to tell jokes." Every time he would yell, a little bit of blood would come out of his neck and go to squirt out, right?
Wow.
Back in the car, I go back to the firm. So the end of the story is I'm putting my tie on. I have this blood stain the size of like a grapefruit. I become like a 12-year-old and think I'm going to hide it from all of the lawyers by walking around the night with like a file folder like this up by my shirt. I go into this conference room. I was gone like 4 hours. The senior partner screaming at me. He goes, "Where have you been? What have you been doing? Why do you have a blood stain on your shirt?" And before I could say anything, another lawyer goes, "What kind of shirt is that?" I go, "It's a Brooks Brothers shirt." "Why?" He goes, "I know how to get blood out of a Brooks Brothers shirt." Club soda and lemon juice. Another lawyer actually goes, No, Armani. That's the shirt you want when you get blood. I go, "What is this, a remake of American Psycho? What are you guys doing here?" Right? So the night ends with me getting in a confrontation with another lawyer over this document I drafted. And I think I still thought I was at the club dealing with hecklers. And he literally in front of everybody at one point in the conference room went, "I read this document, and I could have," to me, Mercurio goes, "I could have drafted a better document in my sleep." And I snapped, and I think I was like still in heckle mode, and I just went back at him, and I went, "Oh yeah, well, I could have been your father, but the dog beat me over the fence."
Wow. So from there, at the Beirut 2, what's it called? What was the club again?
Downtown Beirut.
Downtown Beirut 2. you start full time? That's when you got out of law completely and started writing for Leno?
I was doing that for like a year and a half and completely lost and not sure what to do and about to leave, but I was really scared and I was lost. And then my father died unexpectedly, had a heart attack, and I had to go home to Rhode Island to help run the family furniture business. My mother wanted to take it over, and I thought that's what I was going to do. But I come from a very Italian family, and when you go home again, it's like a square peg in a mental institution. Like, you just don't and I come from a really part of my family's really Italian. Like, my cousin Bobby runs numbers, and he at the front's a woman's shoe store, and he sells stuff that fell off the truck, suits, ratchets. And at one time, he was actually selling car alarms that he stole out of other people's cars. and to give you a snapshot of Bobby, this is how he came dressed to my father's funeral, okay? He dresses like John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever to this day. He's got a big, thick mane of hair, and this is how he came dressed to the funeral. An open casket, Italian funeral. He comes in a fluorescent orange silk shirt, unbuttoned gold chains, white pad leather belt, white slacks, like a creamsicle with chest hair, right? And then white mesh loafers and no socks, because it was the summer, but you got to put powder on your feet to keep them dry. But Bobby, being the greater, was put too much powder, so every time he'd step toward the casket, puffs of white smoke were coming out of the tops of it. And I'm like, oh, look at that. Somebody nominated a pope. That's awesome, right? And then fast forward the end of the night, in the parking lot, all the cars had gone from the funeral home, and my cousin Bobby's the trunk of his Ford Torino is open, and he's literally selling suits to a guy in the parking lot of the funeral home of my father's passing. It was just,
wow.
And so I tried to be home and run the business with my mother, but she's insane, and I couldn't do it. It was too much. She wouldn't give up any power. It was nuts.
Exactly. So then, did you move to LA to do this full time, or did you do it from New York?
No, I stayed in New York, and I came back, and I really tried with my mother, but it was insane. Like, she just wanted me to run errands and stuff for her, and she would lock customers in the store. Like, she'd forget people were in the store, and she'd lock them in the store because she can't hear. She has a hearing aid that whistles all the time. And I go there one day, and the door's locked, and there's like a 65-year-old woman in the store, and I'm like, man, what happened? She goes, I was looking around, I turned to ask your mother a question, I couldn't get out. I said, how long have you been here? She goes, 5 hours. She goes, well, I browsed a lot. She goes, and I took a nap on that sofa. And she goes, is your name Paul? I go, yeah, why? She goes, well, the phone rang and I took messages. She took messages. So my mother's like in her 70s at this point, and I'm yelling at her. I'm like, Ma, you can't lock people in the store. She goes, I don't know what you're yelling at me about. The woman liked the sofa she took a nap on, and she's going to buy it. She goes, I made a sale, and I wasn't even in the store. I'm done. So I came back, and I left, and I sold my apartment in New York City. I had a nice 2-bedroom co-op, and I moved to a rooming house out in Queens, which was $300 a month, and I had a little 10 by 12 room, and I shared a kitchen and a bathroom. It was this disgusting rooming house, and I shared a kitchen and bathroom with 2 ex-cons, 2 recovering addicts, and a 300-pound phone sex operator who sold Herbalife diet products door to door.
Wow.
And I heard all her phone calls, and all I could say is, it was like disgusting, right? And then I started to live the life of a comic, and then eventually I got a writing job on The Daily Show when it first started.
So this is cool. You're talking Craig Kilborn Daily Show, not Jon Stewart, right? Because he was the original guy who I worked with at ESPN back in the day.
Yeah, and it was funny because the word on the street was when we were like, the show was coming up, and like, the dude Comedy Central's doing this new show, and they're looking for a host, so it like spreads like wildfire among the comedy community, and people are going in for auditioning, and like everybody's like, what are they looking for? What are they looking for? And they're like, well, they're looking for a Craig Kilborn type, and then there'd be a pause in the group, and everybody go, who's Craig Kilborn? But he wasn't like that well known yet, right? And then you see Craig Kilborn, and then like I think I auditioned for it, and then you look at me, I'm like a 5'8" Italian guy with big lips, and then there's like this like Nordic, 6'4",
yeah, he's like 6'4", isn't he?
6'4", blonde hair, always with a mirror in his hand. No, but it was like
very true, actually. That's true.
Yeah, and he's and so that kind of is how it started, and it was really cool because the show was new, And Comedy Central was not as big a network as it is now. So they really like let us try things, and they push the envelope, and then they pull you back. Like one time I was writing, and then I was also doing some segments on the show, and my writing partner and I, remember Monica Lewinsky was like rehabilitating her career, and she had done this Vanity Fair spread, and she had like this little country girl thing going, and we got so incensed that she was being able to rehabilitate her career that we wrote this joke that, this is the only thing she's doing. She's also getting product endorsements like this one from the milk industry, and we had them put a shot of milk all over her face, right, with a thing that says "gut milk" in the bottom. But we held the picture back because we knew if they saw it, they would not let us do it. And the president of the network saw it when the show originally aired, and apparently the story is he called up the Comedy Central headquarters and goes, "Who authorized that picture? Pull the show!" And they pulled the show, and they never re-aired the show again.
Wow.
And somebody who loves Florida and does our weekly Let's Go to Florida, Miss Robin.
Down to Florida.
Everybody now.
Welcome you to the Sunshine State. They're kicking back and soaking up the rays every day in Florida.
Don't you just want to go down there because of this music?
Not really.
Yes.
So last week on our This Week in Florida, we had two stories about the guy who was trying to burglarize a house and then jumped into a lake, and then an alligator ate him. Yeah. Remember that story?
Yeah.
And that happens in Florida. Yeah. Then we had the other guy.
It's called natural selection.
Exactly. But now we have a story with a fairy tale type theme to it in Florida. Let's go to your Florida desk and your correspondent, Miss Robin.
I would like to call this Florida Goldilocks and the three, but I haven't come up with what three things there are.
Stu-nods always work.
Stu-nods are the three Stu-nods. Dateline Deltona. A woman accused of stealing hundreds of dollars worth of makeup from a Deltona CVS ended up in a stranger's house where she bathed, changed into some of the homeowner's pajamas, and then took a nap. So, the three...
No porridge or anything?
Yeah, the three little bears. Someone showered in my shower. Someone's wearing my pajamas, and someone's sleeping in my bed, and she's still there. So, yes. So the
homeowners came home, and this chick was sleeping in their bed?
Yeah, so this chick named Erin Rice, she ended up in the home...
How old was she, by the way?
She looks... It actually doesn't say how old she was.
Does she look like a typical Florida chick that's all stoned out and stuff?
She definitely looks like meth could have been involved.
Oh, no.
No, I'm serious. I think it was, actually. But she looks like maybe she's in her 20s. But she... Erin Rice ended up in the home of these strangers after she broke free from a deputy who'd placed handcuffs on her wrists. Like, they didn't do a very good job then. If she's on meth, and I don't know. But
you can do anything on meth.
Maybe that's what...
Wait a minute. Have you done meth?
No, absolutely not. I've seen it. I've seen it in action.
He could lose more teeth.
I made meth better than you did when I was on Breaking Bad, okay?
You can win that one too, Tom.
So anyway, she breaks free, and instead of running off somewhere, she ends up going to somebody's house. She makes herself a little snack. She showers.
Well, at least she showered before she went to somebody's bed.
Well, that's true. And then she put on somebody's pajamas and got into bed. But the couple was there. It's an older couple, like 72 years old.
They were home during all this?
Home.
They didn't hear the shower running?
Nah, well,
so then they're taking a nap during the day. You know how 72, yeah, right?
1,000 decibels.
So then the wife wakes up,
right?
Because she goes in and she sees this woman in her husband's pajamas.
Oh, she was wearing the man's pajamas?
She was wearing the man's pajamas, and she freaks out, but she doesn't call the cops right away. That's the weird part. She doesn't call the cops away. First, she gets angry at her husband because she thinks her husband was having an affair with this woman at 72 years old. And then the woman who was sleeping in their bed says that she must have been sleepwalking, and that's how she ended up there. So the 72-year-old couple ends up taking her home, driving her home.
Oh, that's nice.
And then
after... They have the turn signal on for like 100 blocks?
I mean, it's just amazing. So then the couple gets home, and after a little while, the wife goes, there was something strange about that story. So then she calls the police and says, were you by any chance looking for a blonde? And then they finally they figured it all out and figured out that that's who
And
it was.
everybody lived happily ever after. She wasn't tased.
Nope.
Right?
Well, she was arrested on and there was meth involved, by the way.
Oh, really?
That was not a guess.
And Ovaltine involved. The older couple.
And there you have it. Your This Week in Florida
This
with
Week
a
in
happy
Florida.
ending for all.
Goldilocks and the Three Stew-Nots.
It's like a Caribbean holiday.
Well, you got to get here before the meters. I mean, if you find a
Yeah.
spot on the street on Wednesday nights, that's a great thing. It's free to park after 5 p.m.
Every Wednesday.
on Wednesday. So I get here at like 4, and I always find a spot in front of the
Yeah.
street. And then I only have to pay for an hour parking.
Yeah.
It's a good deal if you can get it.
Exactly.
And then the one week I forgot because
Yeah, you
I
got
was
the
here at
ticket.
3:30,
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
and I didn't put money in the meter because somebody told me, oh, it's free all day Wednesday,
Yeah.
and then I got a $38 ticket. So I've actually paid more to park
Right.
than I have already one time than I have the rest of the shows that we've done here at Comedy Sports. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Paul Mercurio, who joined us on Skype. Susie Stoic, you can follow her at susieselic.com, SUSIE. Of course, the great Nathaniel Dotson up there, who's our video guy. Tutvid, follow him. He's amazing. He does everything. He doesn't just shoot this dumb show. He does a lot of dumb things. No, he does a lot of great things. And he's a new dad. Tutvid, Tutvid. Follow Nathaniel. He's a genius. Natalie Egenoff, EGENOLF. Right, Nat?
I know, it's so difficult. Yes, you're right,
I
though.
finally figured out how to remember it.
How?
Eggnog, Eggenoff.
Yeah, well, I'll tell my eggnog story next week.
All right, we'll tell your egg.
There's an eggnog story.
That is
And we
how
will
I'm
have
finally
eggnog
remembering
next
your
week.
last name.
Perfect.
I'm going to go to Wawa and buy a couple gallons of eggnog and I'll spike it.
Spend $8 a bottle for it.
The great Luigi Curto up there. Follow him at Luigi Curto 22. And, of course, the man right here, the genius that is Joe Corrado at J Corrado 19, CORRADO. He's awesome. At Paul Mercurio, if you want to follow him, at Miss Robin Austin. Kevin Regan here at CSZ Philadelphia Comedy Sports. Come on out and see a show some Saturday night. It's terrific. And, of course, all the other folks, Miss Robin and everybody else who helps make this show work, and all the folks who came out tonight. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday for the big pre-Christmas extravaganza. It's the Tony Bruno Show, the podcast. Don't drink and drive, don't text and drive, and God bless America. It's a beautiful country.
Clear.